Happy to yield.
I think both of the authors of the amendment are able to respond instead of the staff at this point. The depth needs to go to 50 feet plus 2 for a turning basin for a nuclear carrier. That is the only ship that cannot come in 24/7 into that port. That port can take any other ship that is actually available. So it's very hard to do it, but the idea of the nuclear carrier fight between Mayport and Norfolk really needs to come off the table, because what this is giving a port, a safe harbor for our nuclear carriers on the East Coast. There are 3 safe harbors on the West Coast. There is 1 on the East Coast where carriers can come in case of emergency, storms, any type of repairs that need to be done. Norfolk is the only place that can do that now for a nuclear carrier. In the past, Jacksonville had a conventional carrier, the JFK, and so the depth of the turning basin was sufficient. It is not now for a 24/7 visit from a nuclear carrier. They have to offload fuel, aircraft fuel, they have to offload material, and they have to come in at high tide in order to get into the port, because the channel is not deep enough at this current time.
So let me, then, to my understanding, what you're saying is it doesn't have to be dredged unless it's dredged to take a carrier.
It has to be dredged every 2 years in order to keep it at the depth that it needs for all of the ships that come in there. That's in normal fashion.
So it just has to be dredged deeper.
For deeper to provide, and may I read something to you from the Undersecretary Michelle Flournoy? If I can, any large magnitude event, a Katrina-like hurricane, this is a letter to Mr. Crenshaw from the Undersecretary, a terrorist attack or an accident that blocks the Norfolk shipping channel could have the effect of rendering the East Coast carrier operations ineffective. Therefore, Secretary Gates has taken the prudent step of seeking funding for dredging the Mayport Channel within the fiscal year 2010 to provide an alternative port to dock East Coast carriers in the event of a disaster.